if I ever actually get this video started, it will be a miracle. I'll show you what I'm contending with at the moment. Lie down. Come on. I know you want to be the star of the video, and you mostly are. Yeah. Oh no. Now I'm going to have to watch the screen. So I'm going to apologise in advance if you hear any doggy style noises, such as barking or drinking water. That's just because we've got Daisy down here sat like a champion and Pepper over there being mischievous as always. So we'll try and get on with the video without much distraction, but if they pop up on the settee or anything, then I apologise, but this is technically their seat over here, so don't be surprised if you see a dog halfway through the video. So what we're going to talk about today is just we're going to touch on the salaries that you can earn in the UK once again, because there's been a few more questions, particularly from individuals who are coming from a different career path and want to get into accounting and finance, and they really want to know what kind of salary they can expect to earn before they go ahead and jump into accounting and finance. First thing I'm going to say is that there are different points in your career at which your salary is going to increase. So the first one is going to be whilst you're studying accounting and finance. So whether you're studying AAT, ATT, one of the diplomas, then your salary is going to differ to an individual who's studying towards a professional qualification such as the ACCA, ACCA, CIMA, CIPFA, one of those professional qualifications. So if you're studying the diploma over here, then most of the time, if you are an individual who hasn't come from another career path, you can expect anywhere from 11,000 to about 17,000, give or take. But that again depends entirely on where you are located in the UK. So if you are located down south, you can expect to receive a higher salary, and that's because the cost of living down south is ever so slightly more than it is in the north. But if you're an individual who is studying the professional qualifications, so again, your Association of Chartered Accountants or the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, for example, then you're going to be earning anything from, I'd say, around 17,000 up to around 25 to 27,000. But again, it depends entirely on things like your past experience. So if you're an individual who's got another qualification, who's just looking to study accountancy and finance and move careers, then you're probably going to be looking at more of the top end of that. So if you're an individual who's come from school, who's finished their AAT or ATT or one of the diplomas in accountancy, then you can expect more of the lower end of that scale. But what I'll say again and again is that it does depend on the firm that you're working for, where you're working in the UK, and also what opportunities you've got with that job, because you might start out with a really low salary compared to other individuals who are studying, but then it might take them 5 years to get to the 27,000, whereas it might take you only 3 years to get to the 27,000. So it's worth having that discussion with your employer before you go ahead and take a job anyway, just asking, you know, what kind of career progression you can get in that particular role and what you can expect to earn once you've completed each level within the qualification that you're studying, and what you can expect to earn once you are qualified. So I'd always encourage keeping those conversations open. What I'll say is that it's not rude to ask those questions, because I know when I was studying I felt a little bit uneasy and I really didn't feel right asking outright, well, what would my salary be? But they almost expect you to ask that these days, so you know, just keeping that open conversation going is a lot better than you going through all the studies, etc., and then finding out that the salary you're going to get with that particular firm's not maybe what you expect, or you know, what you were hoping for. So it's definitely best having those conversations earlier on than later. Now I will reference an external sources. So when I was doing my own research, because obviously year on year things change and it depends on, you know, the availability of individuals in the job market, what sort of jobs are available, etc. Salaries do go up and down, but according to Total Jobs, the typical UK trainee accountant salary is anywhere from 19,000 to 27,000, so that is kind of in line with what I was saying earlier. Now, once you qualify as an accountant under one of the different professional qualifications, then you can expect your salary to increase almost instantly. So the moment that you actually do qualify, you'll have a talk with your employer and they'll give you an increase in salary because you are now a qualified accountant, so you can expect that to increase. And in some cases that could be a massive leap depending on how much your student salary was at the time, and in some cases it might just be only a small leap. But again, it depends on the size of the employer that you work for, where you are located again, what kind of job opportunities there are within that sector, what sector you work in. So individuals who work in the likes of technology and telecommunications, for example, might earn slightly more than another sector. But again, it's just worth taking that into consideration before you go ahead and accept a job within a certain sector, just working out what those job opportunities are going to be, and again, what you can expect from that employer once you have qualified. Now, what I'll say is that having a look again at recent studies and just asking around, individuals that I've worked with before within the first 5 years after qualification are receiving a salary of anywhere from 27,000 up to around 45,000. And I've actually seen in one instance an individual who actually received a salary of 50,000 after qualifying from ACCA. And it's not the typical salary that you'd expect to receive post-qualification, and definitely not immediately after qualification. It's something that you can definitely achieve, 3 to 5 years down the line, but not normally instantly. So you can definitely expect to receive anywhere from 25,000 up to 45,000, like I said. But now, what I'll say as well is, when we were speaking before about what industry you work in, it is definitely important to know where you work in terms of the sector. So if you're an individual working in the public sector, for instance, you might not earn as much as an individual working in the private sector or within the corporate sector. And that's typical amongst various different career paths. So you can definitely expect to earn more in one of those corporate sector companies, or if you're working in a bank or an insurance company, for example. Now, Kaplan have actually broken this down by sector, and in their opinion, after conducting their own studies, they believe that those individuals who work in the banking sector can earn anywhere between 25 and 30,000 post-qualification. Those working in the auditing sector can earn anywhere from 23,000 to 35,000. Those working as financial consultants can earn slightly more at 40 to 50,000. Those working in tax, they believe, can earn between 25 and 40,000. And then finally, those working in business management, they believe can earn between 25 and 40,000 once qualified. But overall, according to the likes of Glassdoor and other similar websites such as, Read, Indeed, etc., they all say that the average salary for an individual post-qualification is anywhere from around 35,000 on average. Now, for anyone who's watching who's coming from a different career path altogether, who's looking to study accountancy and finance, just know that you might actually be able to get exemptions from your studies. So if you already hold a relevant degree, or if you hold a diploma, or if you've got past work experience that might be relevant, that might give you exemptions towards some of the study topics that you have to undertake in order to become a qualified professional accountant. So it's worth going on individual websites for which particular qualification you want to obtain, because they usually have a list of exemptions that you can apply for, and sometimes they also have a checklist that you can go through just to see if you can get some exemptions or not. So I'll leave a link again to those in the description box below, and I might even put some up here if I remember. So I hope that's given you a little bit more information about what you can possibly achieve as a salary, whether you are studying towards professional qualification or if you are post-qualified with accounting and finance. So as always, I hope you found the video useful. Consider subscribing, and I shall see you on the next video.